I want to talk to you about being spread thin. It's almost the same feeling as being burned out, but to me, being burned out is like you've been doing one specific thing too much. And how I've been feeling is like a little bit overwhelmed in the sense of I realize that I'm a people pleaser. I have a hard time telling people no. I want to be liked by everyone. Like that's a goal of mine, to be liked by everyone, which is good. It's worked in my favor. You know, I've always been a likable person, but sometimes in order to be liked, you know, I'll pretend that I'm happy when I'm not, you know, things like that. And, you know, that's not very transparent of me, you know, which is something that I like to, preach about here. So I need to practice what I preach. I think it's simple. I just think I don't like letting people down, and I like controlling my self-image. I like having control over how people perceive me. And I always want it to be in like a really positive way, really positive light. But the reality is I'm a human. I have flaws. You know, just because I make a podcast doesn't mean I'm something special, you know. But yeah, I worry about if I'm liked or not. And as this podcast has grown, the more people I feel like I need to please. You know, I'm trying to be a good, husband, brother, son, dog, dad, co-worker, employee, podcaster, person, the list goes on and on. It's hard to be good at all those things and to not lose touch with friends, to not lose touch with yourself in the process of maintaining all these different things you have going on in your life. But I'm bringing it up because I think in this year, especially with me doing these solo episodes, I'm going to try to be less of a people pleaser. And what I mean by that is I'm going to have to take some risk in terms of what I talk about. And what I talk about sometimes may offend you. You may disagree with me, And as a people pleaser, I've always tried to kind of walk on eggshells, and I cover a topic that I want to cover, but I would try to do it in a way where I'm not pissing people off. I probably failed a few times without even knowing it. But at the same time, I just being honest, like I want to be able to be transparent, again, using that word. It's what I talk about. So bear with me in 2023. I may say some shit that you don't want to hear or agree with, but you know what? Here's what I have to say to that. You can either disagree and let me know in the comments, and then we can have a conversation about it. As long as it's reasonable, it's not just like hate-filled, all caps shit. Or, you can just realize like, oh, Lance has a different perspective than me. And you know what? I'm going to continue to listen to See Through, because it's a way for me to hear an alternative opinion and avoid the echo chambers of, only hearing the same thing over and over again. Maybe stuff I'll say that you don't agree with, maybe it's just a good way for you to be exposed to alternative opinions, or you can just not listen anymore. I make this content myself. I do it for free in my bedroom. I fund everything, and with that logic, I should be able to talk about whatever I want to talk about. That's the beauty of being an independent creator like I am. So, that's just a warning for you, for those people who listen and are fans of the podcast. I hope you'll have my back, and I hope if I say something that you disagree with, I hope that you'll be able to bear with me and just kind of work with me on things, because, I'm learning. We're all learning. Let's quit pretending that we know everything and we know we're right on everything. With that said, I must be saying some things right, because I received this really amazing sweet card in the mail. This card meant a lot to me, and I would like to share it with you, if you don't mind. Dear Lance, as I look back on the year 2022, I'm feeling grateful for the people who helped me through it. People like you. Funny fate would bring us together, but I'm happy it did. Means a lot to have someone who I can commiserate with on this journey that is RP. I think for the first time since I was diagnosed, I feel hope and excitement about what comes next for me. I'm certain our meeting has a lot to do with this change. May 2023 be our happiest and healthiest year yet. Yeah, that card meant a lot to me. And if you're the person who sent me that card, I hope you don't mind me reading it. And thank you again. I know I've talked to you since then, but thank you again. But these kind of connections that I make through this podcast are the reason why I do it. I personally get so much out of these episodes, but it's nice to kind of build a community of like-minded people, you know. I'm appreciative for everyone that I've met and talked to so far on this podcast, and I'm excited to meet more people and build this community even bigger. That's what See Through is all about. Yeah, I just want to share some positivity. That message meant a lot to me.